Every pit stop,
Every
Like,
loss.
every victory.
emotion taking my pictures.
In sport, will be
Nice
So I'm
echo.
not in locker room.
Inside the locker room.
Lagos, you're welcome inside the locker room right here on Smooth 98.1. It's a part of Smooth Breakfast with Kayode Baker.
And Ayo Mairo Ese. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, everyone. Once again, you're welcome to be part of our conversation. As always, we've got a very, very, very special guest. You know who it is already, but we'll unveil who it is just in a second. But first, take down these numbers to be a part of the conversation. 0809-444-0981. That's where you can send your WhatsApp messages to. We're streaming live on YouTube as well. So it's youtube.com/smooth91fm. And finally, on Twitter, use the hashtag lockerroom981. There are 2 hours in locker room to get your messages to Smooth91FM.
All right, Lagos, we mentioned to you that she's back and we're excited to have her with us in the studio. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, football and sporting aficionado. Oh, don't spoil my introduction, please. She's the one, the only Tega
Good morning, Lagos.
Good morning, Tega. The whole of Lagos
I
has
don't
missed
want to be here.
you. Okay, yes. There we go.
I want to be back in my bed,
You want to be back in your bed.
sleeping
But we missed you though.
like a normal human being.
No, normal human beings don't sleep at 8:17 a.m. on a Monday morning.
Oh,
Are you
that's
serious?
how.
Are you serious?
I don't say normal people. That's when the sleep is sweet.
Those
all
are
those-
those are
All
exceptions.
those people.
to
No, it's hustlers that wake up very early. See, let me tell you, if you ever have the opportunity, sleep as late as you can on a Monday.
Mm.
Is the best feeling in the world. But since we are talking sports, I'm here. Kayode.
We love you, Tega, and I'm sure the love has even before you came into the
Cruz
studio,
already sent in a message.
sent in a dancing. Honestly, I thought it was so lovely. He missed. She says, "Our first 3 minutes is to greet our Tega Biko. Please, how can we reach you when we miss you like this? We know your social media handles are for work." Not really. Did you respond to messages whilst you're away?
I could not see the phone. I wasn't seeing clearly. I wasn't seeing well. They wanted to choke my bum. Oh. But I'm fine now. I'm fine now.
Glad to have you here. So let's dive into our stories, shall we? Let's talk about the Super Eagles. They crashed out and they lost on penalties. Don't forget, Lagos. We're seeing messages. Femi also just came in.
Yeah, Femi saying that you're on point. Monday morning sleep is. Oh, Femi, I don't think Femi knew that you were away. Femi, she's not been around. She's not been around. But he was saying that Monday morning sleep is the bomb. It's like it's the greatest thing ever.
Well, debatable. Okay, so let's get back into the stories. Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, so Nigeria Super Eagles Team B on Saturday crashed out of the ongoing West Africa Football Union, that's WAFU, Cup of Nations in Senegal. So in Saturday's encounter, the home-based Eagles lost 2-3 on penalties to Cape Verde after the game ended 1-1 at regulation time in their classification match. And the Eagles failed to win a game in the competition, having lost 2-1 to Togo in their opening game. And Sikir Alimu opened the scoring for Nigeria in the 64th minute in what was a cagey match, but the island nation responded and leveled up in the 87th minute.
Yes, so that's where Nigeria's football is right now, losing to Cape Verde and Togo. We are going in the right direction.
In the wrong direction, you mean?
I don't know what you want me to say, but what okay. So this result is a defeat that didn't start today. This is a defeat for your league. This is a defeat for the coach that was chosen. A lot of questions surrounding Imama now, especially with what he had earlier said about coaching, about the quality of players, and then he comes and they says, okay, show us the quality of your coaching, and he couldn't win a single game. So it's not. I would say this for Cape Verde. They've been on the up and up, and football in Africa has been on the rise. I will also say the same thing for Togo. As small as it is, it would say that its football has been moving in the right direction. But for Nigeria, the rest of Africa has caught up, and it seems that they
And
may
they're
be
leaving us
overtaking. So It's a lot of things that is wrong with football right now, and I know people say, "Oh, Amajipini, why haven't you done this?" And you, why haven't you done that? There's so many battles on every front, from the league and its struggles with Shehu Diko in charge, to the leadership of Nigerian football with their IFCPC today, EFCC tomorrow, government next tomorrow. There's just so much going on in Nigerian football. Everything else but playing good football is happening in Nigerian football. So this is what you get when you have a football in crisis, and I guess this result is going to. I think at the end of the day, they will give you a good match against Brazil
Yeah.
to make you feel good. You know, like they are trying so that you forget all this. But the truth of the matter is, Nigerian football is walking backwards.
Oh gosh.
Any other
They did
thing
a
they're
moonwalk.
painting for you is PR.
Okay, all right. So I don't know if we should, I don't know how to feel about that particular analysis and the fact that we're crawling, we're retrogressing in essence. But let's move on to more stories. Hopefully, this will cheer us up. US bagged 3 more goals as world draw to close. So sprint hurdler Nia Ali led a final day gold rush for the United States as the curtain came down on the World Championships in Doha, Qatar yesterday. Ali powered to victory in the 100 meters hurdles to upset world record holder Kenny Harrison with a time of 12.34 seconds at the Khalifa Stadium. It was one of the well, it was one of 3 final day gold medals for the USA, who finished on top of the medal table with 14 golds, 11 silver, and 4 bronze. Before you talk about the US, did we come up with anything, please?
Yes, Ese tried. Worry will not carry last for us. These worry girls. Where blessing failed, Ese came through. Ese came through with a bronze in the long jump. And so Nigeria managed one lonely medal at these championships. Toby Amuson would have come home because I mean she would have come home with a medal, but she started really poorly in the final. She'd been running excellently well all through the heats, the semi-finals. Then for the final, for some, I think she was trying too hard not to, jump the gun, and then she now started very poorly, and she couldn't catch up, of course, with the Americans, who just blasted away very far and left the rest of the world behind. But sad one for Toby Amuso, because she's been having a great season up until that point. Sad one for Nigerian sports, but we got what we reaped what we sowed at the end of the day.
One lonely medal.
It's one, and the medal did not come from here. It came from Ibinto. So it's not like, let's not just be applauding ourselves and saying we carry people on the plane, and then it's Ibinto that brought that long jump. But the USA had, in as much as they had good championship with some of the sprints, when it comes to 100 meters, especially women's 100 meters and 200 meters, they are going to be kicking themselves between now and Tokyo Olympics. You could tell that they were bitter, that somehow Jamaica is still dominating in that position, and they didn't even have a screeching chance of getting anything there. And I think that's a big point for them, because they're the country that wants to get more, not lose the hold they already have. Outside that, they did a fantastic job. Women's 4x400 meters, they changed the entire lineup and still won gold.
Wow.
By about 10 or 20 meters. The entire lineup, that's those 4 people were not even supposed to be there, but they changed them and they still won clean gold. For the men, again, they also had a power cast going for. I mean, with the relays, the US really tried, apart from the women's 100 meters, which is where they came third, again, which is a reflection of their struggles in the 100 and the 200 meters women's championships. They pretty much did everything, did very well. Jamaica will be worried about their men athletes. They don't know where they've gone to. It's as if Usain Bolt retired with the rest of them. And so that's the struggle for them. But what it is that Tokyo Olympics is going to be throwing up a lot of new names, a lot of new numbers, and Nigeria will not. Because you see the age of the boys that are winning, 23, 21, 20. Nigeria is still blessing Okagbare. It's Blume.
Yeah, she was disqualified.
Names that we've been hearing since 1942. So
At least it's not Marion Yali. That would have taken the
Blessing
back.
Okagbare might as
Ayo.
well be Marion Yali now. Do you know what we're talking
Come
about?
on.
Do you know what we're talking
To
about?
be fair, if you ask many Nigerians and you ask them for females in track and they will say
Mary
Marion
Alley,
Yali.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably the one.
That's probably
That's the one that most people would
Like
say,
they'll
of
think
course,
she's
most
still playing.
Nigerians.
They'll think she's still running.
most Nigerians. No, just say two of you in this.
No.
No, I can
No.
guarantee
See,
you.
wait, hold on.
Okay,
If we take a poll,
Nigeria,
if we take a poll,
okay, we are here
Nigerians
now.
are listening.
Nigerians are listening. So, if they told you Nigeria was competing, was it Mary Onyali you were thinking of or Blessing Okagbare? Go.
wait, no, I don't think that's how Ayo meant it.
That's how both of you meant it.
No, let's go. I'm happy to go with that.
That's how both of you meant it. That people would think Nigeria is competing and it's still
I'm
Mary
saying the
Onyali.
most
Yes.
famous person is Mary
Nigeria,
Alley. That's what I'm saying.
please, I just came
Please,
back. Don't say.
I'm actually saying what Tega is asking.
That's what she's saying. That if you told
What's the first
Nigerians,
thing that comes to your mind?
if you told Nigerians, if you told people that Nigeria was competing at an athletics championship, they'll be thinking Mary Onyali till today. Please, Nigerians, please.
Help
help
me
me.
right.
I've not even taken my
whoever
morning
win,
medication.
will get a prize.
Please.
That said, Oye
Okay.
comes in to say, I'm heartbroken. How can Tega not look forward to telling us about sports? We also wake up early to listen to you.
Yeah, that's because you said you'd rather be sleeping.
Of, Oga, I needed a blood transfusion to get here. My dear, I don't feel any little bit bitter at all.
Egbon Femo, that Ishan boy says, I miss my Wonder Woman of sports analysis. Happy to hear your sonorous voice in one piece. I was almost giving up on the sports segment of this
Are
great
you
program.
serious?
That's how we say in Esonland, Obokian, and for the Eagles, I understand their plight. They need spiritual intervention to bring
Ew.
them back. Good morning. Thank
All
you,
right.
Egbon Femo.
Cruz comes in and
No,
says,
Lara says, so Lara has voted for Blessing now. Okay, that's one.
okay. Tega comes says, I know Blessing Okagbare, but Mary Alley continues to ring a bell
Thank you,
forever. See,
Benga.
this is what we're saying.
No, that's not what
Thank
you were
you,
saying. What you
Benga.
were saying is if Nigerians thought about competition, they'll be thinking about Mary
Wait,
Onyali.
that's still bringing in.
No,
So
that's what you were
He
saying.
says, Ayo, no, Mary Bao. That was a century ago now. Wait, somebody's voting for me. Frank from Belaki said, how about Ayo, Mary Oyelake? He didn't even spell the name. Now, somebody who is, honestly, it's Mary Intake. Olajide, you are the real MVP.
Uh-huh.
Olatunbosun.
No, you guys should get it right too. She's saying that if you think of Nigerian competing in the athletics now,
Yeah.
that is Mary Onyali you would think
No,
went to
no.
compete for us. That's what she
Is
was
that what Ayo
saying.
meant?
That's what I meant.
Okay,
Yeah,
all
that's
right.
what she was
Okay, that's
saying.
it.
Emeka
So
says,
what time?
Ayo was right. Onyali is still in the race. Thank you very much, Emeka.
Oh, the guy is getting it wrong. And Ayo is playing on your head. Ayo, we're not talking about who is the best sprinter.
We didn't say who is the best.
We didn't say who is the best sprinter. We're saying Ayo is saying that she didn't even think Blessing Okagbare was competing. She thought Mary Onyali was competing. Like,
No,
do you
I
know how
didn't-
old Mary
No,
Onyali
I
is?
didn't
No,
think.
no.
I just said that. But usually, when anyone comes, because their names are not yet.
They're not out there
They're
like
not
that.
out there like Miriali. You're still thinking, it's only Miriali that's winning gold for us now. You people should not fall my hand. Please tell Tega that
Are
I'm
you
right.
serious? You did not know that Blessing Okagbare was one of your last medal before this one.
Mhm.
It's your only medal.
You
You
see,
only
people are
know.
saying, of course it's Mary now, but soon. Then Olatumosu says, honestly, it's Miriali that still comes to my mind. Tega.
Olatubosu and Ayo, you wouldn't deserve to go to the museum. Mary Onyali is, if she's not 50s now, sef. What are you saying?
But I'm just trying to show you just how much we're not investing in female tracks and female athletics.
Or athletics in
Yeah,
general.
athletics, yeah. Well, I'm concerned about female.
We've never invested in athletics.
You see, so sad that Mary still won gold.
Mm-hmm.
Despite
Blessing still won.
Blessing has
Blessing won
won.
gold.
Oh, she won.
Blessing has won. Chioma has won. Chioma do what he
Chioma-
set
yes,
world record.
Chioma Ajunwa is another.
Chioma
but
Ajunwa is
Chioma
another
more for
popular
long
one.
jump.
But she said, oh, look, there's track and field for athletics.
Okay. Oh, okay, let's go.
All right, Lagos, let's go on a quick break. When we
Ah,
get
we
back,
did on a
we'll
break
take some
again.
more stories and also respond to your messages. Stay close.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Marion Yali. She's
No,
like
but she's right.
50.
If you ask my mom or anyone, she'll still obviously tell you that Marion
Cod-
Yali. Or people in my house, they say Marion Yali.
Yeah, if you speak to non-sporting people.
No. That's
Thank you, Kodri. Kodri, you did not come to us to last week because Tega was not around. I mean, you people that are
people in your
coming
house
out.
are not watching sports. Clearly.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
That is true
That for the
now.
average Nigerian
You
who
know.
are not watching,
I used to
they're not
define the
watching-
Duduru.
No.
All those, nobody knows those guys.
No, people are watching sports. People are just not celebrating sports because what they are understanding for them, the best sprinter is Mariani. That's what they're understanding by what's happening. Not that what they are I should be coming.
I'll have my wedding in Dubai and have your money.
Do you know what year this is?
Yeah, no, it's 2020 now. 2019, 2022 to be.
Mariani, if you gave her money, then she will.
Financials now on 01-631-724.
Oh, is she?
Visit
Let me even see what she looks like now.
www.pagefinancials.com. Page
I'm not sure that
Financials.
you even have any presence up.
Eh?
I don't think you have much presence
Just
up.
when you thought you knew everything
Social
about
media.
noodles, something else comes up.
No, on
Something
the
new, something
so
fun,
beautiful, Sha.
something exciting.
Well, this picture, the other
something
picture.
kind of
Not quite.
jolloфy. Introducing Golden Penny Jollof Noodles. Enjoy the rich,
can't say anything, I'm biased.
Penny Jollof Noodles. It's easy to make and ready in just 5 minutes, just the way you like it.
I'm biased.
Golden Penny Jollof Noodles for the love of jollof.
She's still on.
Hi,
Like,
my
she's
name is
still
Dakori, and I'm
being
going to
invited
tell you
for
about
stuff.
your
Oh
favorite
yeah, that's her.
noodles.
She's not.
Looking good, though.
Kilo
She's
Ready
still
to Drink
slim,
is
actually.
made from the natural goodness of milk, malt, and
She's still
cocoa,
slim.
and fortified
Command
with
women. I hope
essential
Command women is
vitamins and
treating her
minerals, so I can now pack the winning
She should
energy
treat herself
of
well.
Milo into my children's
She doesn't like
lunchboxes.
herself.
So, moms, what are you waiting for? Make sure your child is always ready to win
Oh,
every
it's
day.
Choma like a police
Kilo
woman.
Yeah.
Ready to Drink.
Ready.
Energy food drink
Okay.
of future champions.
This is Paul, and you're listening to Smooth Breakfast.
That's right. You're listening to Smooth Breakfast. This is Locker Room, and if you just joined us, you've missed quite a bit. We've been talking about Marion Yali and Plesno Cabra and other
No.
things related.
I'll be talking about Blessing Okabari. Ayo, I'll be talking about Marion
Marion
Yali. 19
But you can come in to settle this for us once and for all. Yes. So your messages come to 0809 444 0981. But real quick, let's dive into the stories. Yes. Okay, so the next story, let's talk about Pep Guardiola. So Pep Guardiola called Manchester City's defeat at Wolves a bad day, but isn't thinking about Liverpool despite slipping 8 points behind in the title race. Now, regarding the title race, Guardiola said it is a lot of points difference, and he said they, Liverpool, don't drop points for many reasons, but it is better not to think about that. It is better to think about what is next. It's a bad day, Guardiola said.
Which bad day? It was bad choices that led up to bad results that has put you 8 points after 8 games behind Liverpool. First of all, I don't know what genius he has, but the fact that Rodri plays consistently, I don't care how many injuries you have, is ridiculous to me. Rodri doesn't add anything going forward. He doesn't add any solidity defensively. He's just an extra piece of meat on the pitch. And so why Pep Guardiola leaves him there? And the breakdown, a lot of people will talk about Laporte missing in defense, and so they have some defensive struggles. But it wasn't the fact that they were not that they conceded 2 goals. It was 2 goals on the break and 2 late goals. It was the fact that they were not scoring and they were not creating clear-cut chances. And yes, a typical Pep Guardiola team would pass the ball around and then pass it into the back of the net. But sometimes when there is a little bit, when there's a tight or a compact defense like the way Wolves set up, they have a way of breaking through, and that didn't happen. And I would say, especially because of the presence of Ika Gundogan and Rodri, They have no penetrative abilities. They have no vision. They have no passes. They are just extra bodies making extra passes that are unnecessary and unwanted. And so Aguero barely even saw the ball. For a player like Aguero that needs one or two chances to put the ball in back of net, he barely even had that ball to play through. Sterling wasn't having a good day. Neither was Riyad Mahrez. Yes, there's a way you would struggle and your team will have to grind out the result, but that breakdown starts from that midfield. And because that midfield has no shape, no structure, and no penetrative abilities right now, then they are in the place they are. You fast forward to Liverpool, even when the game is tough and Mo Salah is not getting any goals, or maybe he's getting goals but he's not scoring them, or Sane is making too much runs. Sometimes you see somebody like Wijnaldum get a goal from the middle. You see the fullbacks stretch a defense and bring out, and create space that wasn't there. But you can't say the same thing for Man City. So yes, he may be claiming that he's not thinking of Liverpool, but I'm guessing that when he wakes up in sweat in the middle of the night in an AC room, it is Liverpool he's thinking of. Liverpool taking the title from him. He's 8 games into the league, and 8 points right now seems a little too early, but it is 8 big points that he will not be getting anytime soon. Bye bye. Let another person come and take the championship.
All right, thank you very much
Okay.
for that one. I wanted to say though that could it just be that it's the Wolves team, because Wolves made it tough for Manchester United, made it tough for Liverpool, made it tough for everyone really.
May I speak now, as my headmaster?
Yes, ma'am.
The Wolves team only capitalized on the weakness that the Manchester City team gave them. The Wolves scored their first shot on target, goal. Second shot,
So they took their
goal.
chances.
That's it. The two times they just saw Otamendi alone. How is Otamendi alone? Otamendi is the guy you don't leave alone. You give him a chaperone, a cook, a father, and a mother. So there's like 1, 2, 3, 4 people. Otamendi should never be alone. But Otamendi was alone. And Adamatrawa beat him. So this life is yes, Wolves did I mean they scored goals, yes. They won a match, yes. They executed a good game plan, yes. But at the end of the day, 70% of that loss came from Man City dropping the ball, as opposed to Wolves being excellent.
All right, let's go from one Manchester to another Manchester.
Ah,
One is at the top of the table, one is making unacceptable losses. So Manchester United goalkeeper David De Gea was at a loss for words following Sunday's 1-0 defeat at Newcastle, and apologized to fans for yet another poor display by the team. Asked what needs to be improved, De Gea said everything, a lot of things to improve. So Tega, what needs to be improved?
Manchester. Apparently, there's trouble in Manchester. But again, the team is struggling on many fronts, and I'm going to say this: this is not it's not the worst 11 they could have put out against Newcastle. It's not the worst 11. It wasn't a bad 11. It wasn't the team that you would expect would get in goalless draw. The reason they're struggling, another part of the reason they're struggling like this is also their coach is struggling, and you're sitting. It's a big animal called Manchester United, and in as much as they say, "Oh, I'm going to give you time," the world is not giving you time. They will continue to look at Manchester United as Manchester United. I would say this for Marcus Rashford. It seems as if the weight that he has been waiting to carry is now a little too heavy for him. Because sometimes he's doing a bit too much to get Manchester possession, that he's not even in the right place for the possession that he should get in and around the 18-yard box. So like David De Gea said, everything needs to change. Defensively, they are struggling. They don't know who is picking who up. At the midfield, they don't have enough creativity there. Attack-wise, they have people that are flailing all over the place. And then on the bench, they have a manager that is struggling with the load of expectation that's been placed on him. All in all, it just leaves for a Manchester United that the solution is not going to be resolved with one transfer market window. it's going to take time to build that resolution. Unfortunately, between the time that they have to build and the time that and the January transfer window is, there may be a lot of emotional and mental damage because that's how you continue taking in defeats, and before you know it, you'll be hard to dig yourself out of a mental struggle. So I agree with David here. The problem is so much. They need mental strength, they need tactical acumen, they need better quality players all over the pitch. They just need a lot. And we can't help. So it's sad. It's sad for Manchester United where they are. And so people say, but Frank Lampard is doing so well with his young squad. Pressure is different. At this point for Chelsea, not a lot of people expected them to mount any pressure because they had no activity in transfer market. There was not that much pressure. People still mocked them, but there was not that much pressure. In Manchester United, there is always pressure. Even if they tell you that they give you 6 years,
There's pressure.
there's pressure
after
from day
6
one.
days. Okay, we see messages up
We
on our
have
YouTube
tons of
page,
messages.
tons of them, and also on WhatsApp as well. Let's quickly get to them.
Hi, Kodri. Kodri Adogba says Mary Onyali was like decades ago. Kagbare has been the name in our faces all this while. Onyali is like mama level.
And he further says here, Wolves had 4 clear one-on-ones against City in the first half alone. I want to say it was a bad day for City, but I am certain City is beating the next team they face nothing less than 5 goals.
That's what we said after Norwich City.
Well, that
That
is so true, actually. That is so true.
Let's move on to some more comments. Now we go to WhatsApp, and Okon from Agungi says, excited about Chelsea winning the game yesterday, but honestly, Zuma should not be in that team, and Lampard should please make Pulisic more active in that team.
All right, let's see. Let's get back to this one. Emeka says, Emeka from Odungo says, good morning, Manchester United fans should just accept the reality that they're not a big club anymore. I blame Fergie for all these. If he hadn't won all those titles and raised the bar so high, United fans wouldn't be having all these false hopes.
All right then, Chiamaka says, good morning. Ayo, which planet are you in? Meroyali in this present time here. Please, I want a sack news from United on Ole. I can't believe the team I saw yesterday.
Wow.
Tega, you're complaining about Rodri. What do you say about the worst Brazilian in the United shirt, Andrea?
True.
So that only first touch striker without replacement, but relying on Marshall, the census man, and star boy Rashidi. Let me just stop here. Otameni that the old Rashidi finished during LVG era. I don't know how he's still at City.
This one says Tottenham Hotspur turned on their Wi-Fi when they were sharing points as souvenirs at an OMA party. Immigrant wolves ravaged the citizens. Ole, at the wheel, don't enter one lane. Come on, Gunners. Okay, Sega, while you were away, they did talk.
Van Dijk dirty.
Okay. And the guy just slid into my DM. Okay, all right. That's Emma from Coca.
Then Tony from Coca says, I still see City as my favorite. Happy that Chelsea won that match. And Benya says, hey guys, welcome back. Tega, Kayode, please don't mention Man United. I beg. It would end in relegation and tears. Oh, and Ayo, it's blessing though. All of you that are saying blessing, I don't think you understand what you're, what we're talking about.
Okay, let's quickly get to the next message. Let's talk about Suarez and also Lionel Messi. Now, Messi and Suarez. Messi scored his first goal of the season as Barcelona beat Sevilla 4-0 on Sunday to climb into second place in the La Liga standings behind Real Madrid, but ended the game with 9 men as Ousmane Dembele and debutant Ronaldo Araujo, I guess, was sent off.
Okay, so again, when Barcelona won their game last week, I knew they were closing the gap because of Sevilla. Any form Barcelona will beat Sevilla. I don't know what it is with Sevilla there. Touch and go. Doesn't matter the coach. Nobody should blame Lopetegui. Yes, he's the guy in charge now. But Barcelona have a thing over. It's a mental slavery. They have to emancipate themselves. Played a brilliant first 30 minutes, and after that, Luis Suarez scored that overhead bicycle kick, and it was game over for Barcelona. But for me, it was the red card. First of all, I would still say it's still harsh. It's still football they are playing. Also on your 2 feet. Every small touch doesn't mean you should go over. And for me, Chicharito went down easily. However, I did not see why Ousmane Dembele went there again. He got his red card on descent. That's the kind of red card as a coach you will do extra laps for me, because this one had nothing to this one is not football, this one is your bad behavior. So don't bring it here. You've won the match fair and square. The guy has a red card. You have a captain who speaks the language. I don't understand why Ousmane Dembele from Sokoto will run all the way to come and talk and collect red card. You will do extra laps. We will dock your pay for good measure. That kind of indiscipline is not warranted. But unfortunately, it devolved. Barcelona ended the game with 9 men. Nothing at the end of the day that Sevilla could do about it, because it was too late in the game for it to even have any effect on the result. But what it means is that by the next El Clasico, it will be 1 versus 2. We cannot wait to see. This is a good season for the La Liga. And on the other hand, in the Italian Serie A, Inter Milan were shown back their usual position. Juventus 2, Inter Milan 1. End of discussion.
All right, thank you very much. AB, thanks for your comment here. We can't wait to have you back too. Ogbeni K. Mafe says, Manchester United no doubt needs rebuilding, but with a manager with pedigree, not Ole. Well, thank you all for your comments, and thank you, Tega, for coming today. We've missed you, as you can tell, and it's good to have you back. Thank God you're strong and better, and we pray for complete health for you. Well, Lagos will go on a break now. When we come back at 9 o'clock, it's Lagos Talks 981. Don't forget to find Tega at Tega Supreme on Twitter, and the work she does with ladies in sports at LIS International. Follow us too at Smooth 91 FM. We're 10 this year, so a lot of exciting things coming up. Please make sure that you're engaging with us on all our social media platforms. And if you haven't yet applied to be our intern for this year, then please go on to our Instagram page at Smooth981.
Wait.